too,
Well, they only come around every 17 years, Annabelle.
Oh, yes. I can just picture them talking it all over last year. One locust saying to another, "Only one more year and up we go when Newton Fuller buys that place. Well, I'll meet at Newton Fuller's place. Us, the Japanese beetle, and the measuring worm, the tin caterpillar, walking up and have a hell of a time."
Annabelle, sometimes I just don't understand you. Here you are, face to face with the most wonderful thing in the world, nature. And all you see are a few insignificant little trivialities. Why, you've got a grandstand in the greatest show in the world. The whole panorama of nature going on right before your own eyes. Insect against insect. Worm against worm. All the complicated forces that keep the locusts in the ground for 17 years. And Japanese beetles come up right on July 1st. Why, you ought to be struck with wonder at the very privilege of being able to watch it.
Why, that's the greatest love song we've played in 22 years.
Well, it makes me mad all through the heck. I can complain about a little bit, right?
Well, that's all very fine, you and the insects. But when the honeymoon is over, where is the money coming from to pay for all this?
Oh, well, it's not going to be so much, Annabelle. Take gravel, for instance. Mr. Kimber says we won't get any for another 2 years.
Oh, yes. As far as gravel is concerned, we're all set. I was just thinking of the little things, like eating. Because when manure costs more than a sirloin steak, Newton, it kind of makes you stop and think. Makes you feel like the Emperor Jones.
Good afternoon.
Why, good afternoon.
I hope I'm not intruding. I'm Mrs. Douglas. I just wanted to bid you welcome. I live in that little stone house just down the road.
How do you do, Mrs. Douglas? Come on in.
It's very nice of you, Mrs. Douglas. I hope you'll excuse the looks of this place.
Oh, I understand, Mrs. Fuller. I hesitated to come your first day here, but I just wanted to bring you a few flowers and say welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Douglas. They're lovely. Won't you please come in?
I bet those are right out of your own garden, aren't they, Mrs. Douglas?
Yes, they are. We're having a wonderful garden here.
I know your house now, Mrs. Douglas. I was asking our Mr. Kimber about it. He says yours is the oldest down here.
Yes, it's very old. About 1700, we think. I do hope you're going to like it here, Mrs. Fuller. We're always very pleased to have some nice new neighbors.
Yes, it's a very lovely country, Mrs. Douglas. Of course, I'm such a city girl. I'm afraid it'll take me some time to get used to it. This is really my husband's idea. He's the barefoot boy of the family.
And Mrs. Fuller doesn't quite want to make it in the country just yet. But when we get this house looking like yours, Mrs. Douglas, I bet I won't be able to get her out.
My husband won't bet on anything, Mrs. Douglas.
Tell me, Mrs. Douglas, have you lived down here since the Revolution?
You mean a family?
Oh my God, has your family lived down here since the Revolution?
Yes, I was born in that little house. I've lived here all my life.
Just think of that. And tell me, do you know anything about this house? When did George Washington sleep here?
Well, I know that there's a legend that Mr. Washington slept here, but I'm afraid that isn't true, Mr. Fuller.
What? He never slept here at all?
No. As a matter of fact, we investigated, and we discovered George Washington never slept here. It was Benedict Arnold. Huh. Perhaps you'd like to have an old map of the place with all the original boundaries? You see, I'm president of the County Historical Society. I think it might be interesting to you.
Say, I certainly would, if it wouldn't be too much trouble, Mrs. Douglas.
Why, not at all. My, I'd better be getting home. We're going to have a storm.
I'll walk you to your car, Mrs. Douglas.
Oh, please don't bother. I'm afraid I'll have to use this road again. I don't like to drive across the fields with a storm coming up.
The road? Why, what's wrong with the road?
Well, I know that Mr. Prescott doesn't like people using it.
What does Mr. Prescott have to do with it?
Well, after all, it's Mr. Prescott's road, you know.
No, it's not. It's our road. At least it is us too, but it's our road.
Oh, I'm afraid you're mistaken, Mr. Fuller. It's Mr. Prescott's road. Didn't they tell you that when you bought the place?
My husband, Mrs. Douglas, bought this place by radio photo.
Mrs. Douglas.
In just a moment. Tell me, Mrs. Douglas, how do you expect us to get here? Jump?
Well, your right-of-way is actually through the woods. I suppose in time you'll have to build a road through, because after a heavy rain it's quite impassable. I'd better hurry. Goodbye.
So we haven't even got a road. How could you possibly do such a thing? Did you ask any questions before you said yes? Did you look at any papers?
Certainly I did.
What, the funny papers? What are we going to do? You can't get into it or out of it. You have no walls, no floors. Maybe the government will take it instead of Alcatraz. Ah, the warden!
What is it, Mr. Kimber?
Afraid that road's no good, Mr. Fuller. We just struck a cemetery.
A cemetery.
Anyone you know?
A man just left this.
A note of welcome from the county. Road tax, $183.60. Imagine what it would be like if we had a road. School tax, $90.52. Extra assessment, county courthouse, $21.30. Oh, I know what we could do. Let's pay the poorhouse tax and then move right in.
Boy, it's gonna be Lulu. Just listen to that.
We were way down before we saw it coming.
Say, look how dark it is in here. Is that working? Here we go.
There's one right here too.
Say, it's coming down pretty hard. I hope it doesn't hurt anything.
What could it hurt? The rumor Benedict Arnold slept?
I hope all that sucked before I have to leave.
Winter Green for president! Da 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 da! Winter Green for president!
You say something here.
I said winter green for president. Wanna make something of it?
Well, we're in the country anyhow.
Say, there's a car pulling up. Here. The people are getting out. They're coming here.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
That's quite all right.
Sorry to bother you. We're just coming down so hard we couldn't drive. If you don't mind, we'll be with us.
Certainly not. We're down very good order here. And that's my wife, Mrs. Fuller. And that's my daughter, and that's Mr. Eldridge.
How do you do? My name is Leighton Evans, and this is my wife, Rita Leslie.
Oh, I recognize you right away, Mr. Adams. I've seen you on stage.
Say, I thought you looked familiar. What do you know about that? Annabelle, do you know Mr. Evans?
Oh yeah!
Do you have a house down here too, Mr. Evans?
No, we're looking at the inn. We're down for the summer acting at the Playhouse. We open Monday with The Fire Band. We're on our way to rehearsal.
Say, I didn't know there's a summer theater down here, and that's wonderful.
If you could call it theater.
Now, Rena, when you be down here all summer, it's going to be fun. What do you expect of a summer theater playhouse?
Not a great deal, Clayton. I would just like them to take the pigs out before they put the hams in, that's all.
Hey, I better go fasten the shutters.
I'll do it, Mr. Fuller.
Oh, how I loathe the country.
Say, we could form a little club here this summer.
Oh, look, it's coming through the windows and underneath the door.
Get some rags. You better get some rags.
Let me help you, Miss Fuller.
You know, I think this is all for the best.
They washed away and never have to use the road at all.
What's thinking? There's a regular flood upstairs.
Newton's arc.
Here, this will help us. Come on, Luna. Looks like that.
That is not in my opening contract year.
Newton. It's raining Newton. Right in our little nest.
Oh. Here's a map.
Have you another bucket, Mr. Fuller? Or shall I just open my mouth?
Go. Excuse me.
You know, Newton, I think they put the roof on the side of the and then took it right away again.
Say, it's getting pretty damp in here. Suppose I start a nice big fire. There. Listen to that crackle.